Namaskar, sir. Thank you very much for being here. Sir, Dharmendra Pradhan ji, sir, Minister भी यहाँ join कर गए हैं. With your permission, I will request Dr. Ajay Parida, the Director of ILS, to start the program, sir. Dr. Ajay Parida, can you please start the program?
Namaskar, good morning, and welcome to the 32nd Foundation Day event at the Institute of Life Sciences. At this occasion, I would already like to express our gratefulness to the Honorable Ministers, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, and all the other dignitaries for their august presence. The event will start with a welcome address and an annual account of the previous year of the Institute of Life Sciences by the Director, ILS. Please.
Good morning, Honorable Minister Dr. Vardhan ji, the Dharmendra Pradhan ji, our Secretary Dr. Bhubaneswar, Dr. Meenakshi Munshi, Mr. C.B. Goyal, all our DBT Institute's Director, and my colleagues at Institute of Life Science, invited participants from press and media, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure and privilege for me to give a brief account of the work which we have carried out during last year at the Institute of Life Science. Can I have the slides, please? The Institute of Life Science was established in 1989 by the government of Odisha, which was eventually taken over by the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India in 2002. So we are reaching this year the 20th year of taking over of the Department of Biotechnology. Can I have the next slide, please? I think we have, this institute has been very active, but this is a photo I'm showing in February 2020, which had a tremendous number of activities at the Institute of Life Science. But during last year, due to pandemic, next slide, due to the pandemic situation, ILS was also took the opportunity for displaying its research and development activities. And I'm very happy to say that on April 14th, we started the COVID testing at the ILS. And so far, we have reached about 154,000 RT-PCR tests as of today. And this covers the testing, including about 26 of the 30 districts of Odisha. And as to give a glimpse of the activities which we have carried out in response to our COVID-19, we have also sequenced as of today, I think 500 COVID viral, reporting out 5 major clades. And we have established 17 virus cultures, which could be a resource for use for the evaluation of the vaccine and drug candidates. We have also studied the immunoprofile, microbial diversity in symptomatic, asymptomatic, contact and negative patients. And Honorable Minister will be laying the foundation stone for the Animal Challenge Myrtle platform, where we have established the golden hamster as well as the transgenic mice system to study the transmission and aid to the development of drugs and vaccines. We have also established a screening platform and initiated validation of plant extracts, drug libraries, and as well compounds for identifying potential drug targets. We have also established a biorepository for the clinical sample, which again the Honorable Minister will be inaugurating it today. And we have been recognized as one of the regional centers for genomic screening and surveillance for COVID-19 COVID-19. Next slide, please. Well, as I mentioned, the Institute of Life Science has 4 broad areas of the research work. We work on infectious disease, cancer biology, genetic and autoimmune disease, as well as the plant and microbial biotechnology. Our focus is on research and development, translation and product development, outreach and capacity development, as well as partners. All this work is being carried out with our 28 faculties. Last year, despite the pandemic hitting all of us, we have been able to, our productivity is quite high. This slide will show the output for 2021. We have 63 peer-reviewed publications, 6 PhD students awarded and 5 submitted. We have filed 3 patents and 2 patents has been granted. 2 technology has been developed and commercialized. We have our faculties and students has been rewarded with 16 awards and recognitions. We have reached more than 4,000 students as a part of our science outreach program. 26 extramural research projects and 5 new partnerships has been developed. We have also reached out to over 500 tribal farm families for income generation activity as well as improving their economic condition. Also, the ILS Bio Incubator, which will take care of the translation of the product, has also in operation. In case of the cancer biology, our 11 faculty of ILS are working on cancer biology. We work on therapeutic approaches against cancer, pathogenesis of the cancer, diagnostic and prognostic markers, as well as employing biomaterial as well as protein structure and computational strategies for increasing our understanding of the cancer biology. Next slide, please. So there are a lot of achievement. It is very difficult to put it in one slide. So what we have in ER, beta, and needle axis, we have established that it plays a role in breast cancer thing. We have also looked into the cisplatin resistance in oral cancer. There are several activities, and basically we are working with the oral cancer, the breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, as well as the leukemia. And for the first time, we are also establishing showing that the circular RNA generated from the insulin gene also has a potential to regulate the beta B cell physiology has been identified. And this has resulted in a significant number of publications in very high impact factor journals in the area of the cancer biology. Next slide. The work on our infectious disease biology, again, 11 faculties are involved in it. We work on chikungunya, dengue, HIV, candidiasis, malaria, bacterial division, antibiotic resistance, immune cell biology, disease immunology, and inflammation. Here also our achievements, next slide. Here also our achievements are quite significant. We have identified a potential anti-chikungunya virus compound which has been validated in vivo as well as in vitro. We have also looked into several factors like NCO-R1 as well as IgM in understanding the basic pathology and this basic antiviral response for these diseases. There are a lot of work which we have carried out on the basic understanding that includes the de novo heme regulation in the malarial parasites as well as in the fungal infections, and also the role of the DNA polymerases in the bacterial, the cells. Next slide. In case of the plant and microbial biotechnology, we have 5 faculties working on this, where we work on plant molecular biology, abiotic stress, plant genomics, structural biology, as well as the metagenomics. Next slide. The outputs of this particular group has been quite significant. We have identified, characterized, and validated salt and drought tolerant genes from millets and the mangrove species. We generated a huge amount of genomic resources for neglected pulses and many species from the tribal region. We have identified miRNA for the role in salt tolerance as well as the grain development. A novel microorganism has been isolated from the corals of Andaman Seas, and we have also studied the structural biology or structures of some of the histone chaperones in this. This work is quite significant as it can lead to the developing genetic resources or the crop varieties which can grow in the stress-affected soils. Next slide, please. ILS has also undertaken a detailed study on this is our flagship program of ILS, which focuses on the tribal health and nutrition. I would like to mention that Odisha is the second largest concentration of the tribal population in the country. We have 62 recognized or gazetted recognized tribes, out of which 13 are primitive tribes. So this effort of ILS is to use advanced biotechnology options, specifically omics approach, genomics, immunoprofiling, microbiome, metabolomics, as well as the nutrition profile to contribute to the improvement of the health and nutrition status of the tribal communities of specifically Odisha, which will have a translational potential to take it to any other states or any other regions of the country. Next slide. We have so far collected samples or analyzed 22 different tribes from 3 districts of Odisha, and this work is going ahead. And as I said, that this has a practical implication for collecting the basic information on the health and disease systems prevailing in the tribal communities. We can identify the tribes or locations which are specific for certain diseases or susceptible or resistant to a particular disease. So we have also committed to take the technology to the people, and in this context we have taken one of the aspirational districts of Orissa, that is Nabarangpur, which is taken from the bottom in the developmental indicators. In this district, a lot of economic and social activities is being conducted, whether it is aquaculture or poultry, goatery, or additional livelihood strategies, and also the processing of the medicinal aromatic plants. And this particular initiative has so far benefited something about 500 tribal farm families of Nabarangpur and additional 100 farm families from the Tigiriya block in the Cuttack district of Odisha. Next slide. We have also taken, as a part of the Poshan Abhiyan, we have also looked at the nutritional dimensions of this particular area, and we have initiated a massive Nutri-Garden movement in the district, both in the individual homes as well as the residential schools. In the residential school, this is being undertaken in partnership with the local authorities. There are about 82 residential schools in Nabarangpur district, and so far we have established the nutritional kitchen gardens in about 22 districts. And this work is going to make a change in the thing is that what we call the diversifying the food basket by cultivating the nutritional crops for consumption and improving their nutritional status. Next slide. The economic development is again a major focus of this. For example, there is a initiative which we have taken, how do you add value to the local resources. There is a lot of sal leaves which are available in the local market, local forest, and a group of self-help group of women which we have been trained and provided infrastructure for initiating the sal leaf plates by the tribal women as a Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. And in this, I must say that although we have not done a detailed calculation of the cost benefit, but I can say you that each of these women self-help group member earn something about 5,000 to 8,000 rupees per month as additional income by spending 1 to 2 hours in getting involved in this activity. Next slide. Yes, sir, technology to market is again another focus area of ILS research. As the last 2 years, we have already marketed 2 of our technology, and one of my colleagues, Dr. Soma Chattopadhyay, has received the biotechnology process development, product and process development and commercialization award last year. This year, we have licensed a technology for nanoparticle based or nano formulation on the curcumin based formulation for the wound healing. We're also in the process of developing the RNA isolation kit, as well as most importantly, ILS is establishing a bioincubator with over 10,000 square feet of dedicated space and with all infrastructures for promoting entrepreneurship culture in biotechnology life science in this particular region. Next slide. And we are also we are also committed to mentoring the institutions in the state, and we have expanded the horizon. As I mentioned, that this year we had in 5 new partnerships, and then we are trying to put up a program for the biotechnology, which is cluster, which has a call for proposal which has come from the Department of Biotechnology. All these things would not have been possible but for the dedicated effort of my colleagues at ILS, Some of them have excelled in their own field. Two of our ILS scientists are featured under the top 2% of the global scientists. Or one of the scientists, Dr. Rupesh Das, has awarded the Saab Star Award. Dr. Santosh Chauhan is an international awardee for the EMBO Global Investigator Award. And also a lot of students have also been rewarded or recognized for their contribution. Next slide. Well, I think ILS has able to make good noise about its presence. Lot of social media as well as the print media activities has been going on. Next slide. Today we are grateful to Honorable Minister for laying the foundation. I mean, all these activities will do. So this is just to thank again all of you for your kind presence. I must say that the journey over the last few years at ILS has been quite successful. And we look forward to all your support, blessings, and good wishes for making ILS a place of doing excellent research and also contributing to societal development using science and technology. We request all your good wishes and blessings. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I request Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Renu Swarup, to please address the gathering.
Honorable Minister Dr. Harshvardhan ji, Honorable Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, all the Director ILS, the faculty, everybody present here, gives me immense pleasure to congratulate ILS, its faculty, scientists, researchers, students, everyone on this 32nd Foundation Day of ILS. The journey of ILS with the Department of Biotechnology, as the Director said, will be completing 20 years next year. And this is an important journey. It's an important journey because the Government of India took this decision of taking on this institute in 2002. And in August 2002, when this institute was taken on from the state government, the primary objective of taking this institute by the central government was to give it a national status and to see how the national presence that it has within the state of Orissa, it can contribute to the niche area research that is required for the ecosystem of Orissa, but also contribute and bring in those learnings for a larger partnership within the country. I'm very pleased, sir, that today, as the Director has given you his institute's achievements, this institute in 20 years has established itself as one of the premier national institutes in the country. As a part of the DBT Autonomous Institute network, we are very pleased that over these 20 years, this institute has covered a lot of journey from basic research in the areas that we were discussing in terms of plant sciences, human health, environment. It has covered from basic research to now translational research to societal impact, and also what we have saw in the last slide, promoting the startup innovation, the commercialization, that ecosystem. So the entire journey for the biotech from discovery to market to society has been covered by the institute, and I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate the director and the entire team at ILS for this excellent journey that they have covered. Sir, ILS, as has been projected in these slides, and as I said, is a premier institute of the DBT network. And as you are aware, sir, over these last couple of years, the DBT strategy that we are looking at in promoting the biotechnology sector is to see how we promote the education, the research, the translation, and each component of it contributes to what our mission is, and that is how do we achieve that 150 billion biotech industry figure that we are all talking about. Sir, as you're aware, we in our last strategy, which was till 2020, and now we are developing the next 5-year strategy, the focus is on a knowledge-driven bioeconomy. ILS, which is a part of the ecosystem for the eastern part of the country, has a rich biodiversity. It is along with the IBSD at Manipur, we have the ILS IBSD network. It is contributing to our thematic clusters that we have set up on the bioresource, and also trying to see how we have sustainable utilization of bioresources for bringing in not just societal impact but also bringing in a lot of the commercial aspects as well. We are also very pleased that during this COVID times, ILS has played a very important role in the fight against COVID. And as you're aware, sir, the S&T fight against COVID has brought out remarkable results. And the biotechnology sector, and especially all our autonomous institutes, through the consortia that they set up, have contributed immensely in terms of the COVID testing through the testing centers which were set up. And here again, a large number of students have worked for the testing aspects, but also in terms of the biorepository, which today will be inaugurated by you formally, but you had, sir, launched the larger biorepository network. This network is very important because the COVID samples have now been used by a lot of research groups, both public and private, to be able to develop the diagnostics and also to look at assay developments for the vaccine development, etc. Because the biorepository and ILS also has the virus cultures which they have been able to isolate. The genome sequencing activity which has been taken up is again very important because it contributes for the COVID aspect. And here again, as you know, that now we are looking at the variants that are being, which are responsible, or how will they impact the COVID vaccine development. And again, ILS plays an important role in that. We also are very pleased that as a part of the translational ecosystem which is being set up, our emphasis is on the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and for that, sir, we are looking at all the resources and the services which would help in terms of the research and the product development. And the Animal Challenge facility, which you will be inaugurating today, laying the foundation for, is going to be an important component, and this is already contributing to the COVID vaccine development. We hope that this Animal Challenge facility will now be very important even beyond COVID. This whole ecosystem that we are setting up is not just for COVID, but our learnings of COVID will help us to move much beyond that. We are also hopeful so that ILS, which is, as I said, an important component of our thematic cluster in terms of the bioresource component, along with IBST, which is today going to launch and sir, we are going to request you to launch our Himalaya mission, that Himalaya Bioresource mission. This is again going to have a huge impact. The Himalayan Bioresource mission, sir, which will be announced today, is part of a larger mission that we have in terms of bioresource development and utilization. Here, the rich biodiversity that we have in the Western Himalayas and the Eastern Himalayas, it is actually going to connect that. And from the plant bioresource wealth that we have to the environmental challenges that this will bring out for the Himalayan region, and also in terms of the livelihood security that it will provide. All aspects of it will be covered under this Himalaya Bioresource mission. So the environmental aspects, the aspects related to our clean energy, the aspects related to the waste to value, all become so important when we look at it in terms of the, and also the bioprospecting when we look at it from the Himalayan Bioresource mission point. This mission we are also taking, we will be working very closely with the Ministry of Education because there will be a very important skilling component in this as well, and also working with the schools and others to take this forward. So in a nutshell, sir, the ILS, which is going to be, in fact, has already contributed greatly in these 20 years. As we move forward, we see this as a hub of activity for our eastern region. And we would also like to see this as one very important part of the cluster that we have set up, right from, as I said, from the basic research to the translation to the societal impact. With this, sir, I would like to once again compliment the entire staff, the researchers, the faculty, and the director, and wish them good luck for their journey into the next decade as they move on beyond the 20 years, and hoping that this National Institute, which has today built up excellent partnerships with many institutes in the region around the Orissa and the eastern region, will also now expand to taking on many other partnerships which will be important in terms of the societal development and also in terms of the translational research. Already as a part of COVID, they've got into a larger network, and we would like to see this partnership moving much beyond for many other such activities. Thank you very much once again, and thank you to the Honorable Minister and to Honorable Minister Dharmendra Pradhanji for gracing this occasion today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam. Due to some unavoidable commitments, Member of Parliament Srimati Aprajita Sarangi is unable to join us. I request Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, Government of India, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, to please give a special address.
Good morning to all. Dr. Harshvardhanji, Union Minister of Health and Science and Technology. Madam Dr. Renu Swarup, Secretary DBT. Dr. Ajay Parida, Director, Institute of Life Science. Dr. Meenakshi ji, Mr. Goel, senior officials from Ministry, faculty and dignitaries at ILS and young friends. It's a happy day for me. You all invited me to participate in your 32nd Foundation Day. Though ILS has been conceptualized by Government of Odisha, but recognizing the importance and the quality of the institution, rightly Government of India has recognized that. The Ministry of Science and Technology, especially Department of Biotechnology, has developed this institute as a premier institute. By this time, we all were listening the glorious journey of this institution, presentation given by Dr. Parida and some glimpses given by Dr. Swarup. Dr. Harshvardhanji, on this occasion, I congratulate you personally and your entire team. The way you all have handled the COVID-19 crisis, it's commendable. This year ago, during this period of 2020, the footstep of COVID-19 was there in India also. We all are talking to you in those days in Parliament, in the cabinet meetings. You are assuring us nothing is going to happen. Though you are assuring all of us and you are assuring country and on the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, but we all, the entire country was little bit apprehensive by next few months. What will happen? But I know personally how you people handle from medicine to vaccine. We have created a global standard, global benchmark. And personally, I am happy this ILS Bhubaneswar has played a very important role for this handling. I am happy today the biorepository of COVID-19 clinical sample will be dedicated today by you, sir. I am confident the kind of faculty, the kind of young scientists are there in this institution. In future, the COVID-19 crisis is not over in the globe, in the world. I am confident this group of scientists will create pathway how to handle, how to combat COVID-19 like situation. For me, as being a proud Odia, the I congratulate Dr. Palda and the entire leadership, the way they have participated the COVID war as a frontline warrior, and today is a day to remember all those contributions on its foundation day. Congratulations to ILS Bhubaneswar team, and giving my respect to all of you on this cause, sir. Number two, sir, in last few years, I know personally how ILS has created a place for itself. There are two responsibilities lies on ILS. One, to take care of the preventive health care requirement of the humanity. I'm happy Odisha is a fit case of public policy, healthcare, scientific intervention, based healthcare. Odisha is a right place, Odisha is a right laboratory. In that way, I am a beneficiary. My state is beneficiary, my community is beneficiary. And since last 32 years, ILS has played a very key role on that. Just now, Dr. Palda was mentioning how they are taking care of the tribal healthcare, how they are taking healthcare in the different districts, pockets of the state, and so Eastern India. And today I am happy the institute is expanding its knowledge base to the different part of the country, from northeastern part to the Himalayan range. This is a proud moment for me also. And another important function in these days ILS has initiated regarding the genetic improvement, scientific innovation based improvement on agriculture. And Prime Minister Modi is very clear on certain things. Unless until the backward region get a facelift, get an equal footing in comparison to other part of the country's overall prosperous cannot be achieved. So, in our belief, a Raj Mahal or a big monument could have been created only through joining brick by brick. And ILS has taken responsibility of Naurangpur district, which is aspirational district. And I am confident the input I have from independent source, ILS is going to create a visible mark on the life and livelihood of the Naurangpur districts. This is a very satisfying information for me personally, Dr. Vardhan sir. And finally, yesterday I have written a letter to you. Dr. Saab, Odisha is fortunate to have around 500 kilometers of coastline. And Prime Minister Modi is very keen about development of a blue economy. And I can, with utmost responsibility, I can say, in this century, in this 21st century, the eastern part of India, this part of globe, I can say, where around 10% of the global population is residing. And Bhubaneswar is going to a hotspot of this zone. This is the vision of Prime Minister Modi's Purvodaya. Unless until this eastern India came up to the desirable level, we cannot prosper our India. For that, all-round development has to be achieved. And Mother God has given us an 500 kilometers of coastline, and I have requested you through a letter yesterday, Minister Sir, there should be a center of excellency on marine biotechnology stationed at ILS Bhubaneswar. In Bhubaneswar, there are certain other national institutions are there from your ministry, from other ministry also. With a collective effort piloted by ILS Bhubaneswar, we can create a new roadmap, new incubation driven, new entrepreneur model, new nano unicorns. at Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar is the right place, and just now Madam Secretary was mentioning about 150 billion biotechnology economy. Being in charge of Energy Ministry of country, sir, I would like to be partner with you. Yesterday only Prime Minister given clarion call to the nation, unless until we develop our own energy models and science and technology is available there today by converting the non-fossilized hydrocarbons, where biotechnology ministry and institute like ILS are the pioneer institute. We can create a agri-based blue economy and let this ILS Bhubaneswar should be the pioneer institute of the globe. In that way, my state, my community, my country, and 21st century is the century of knowledge. And Dr. Harshvardhan ji, you are the best custodian of this interest, and I am happy you have invited me to this auspicious occasion, and I expect certain responsibility from your side for my state and this institute. Thank you for inviting me. Namaskar. Bande Utkal Janami.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. We will start with the foundation laying events. Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, Government of India, Dr. Harshvardhan will unveil plaques to mark the laying of foundation stone of the Animal Challenge Study Platform at Institute of Life Sciences. Prior to which, a short video highlighting the objective of the platform will be played. The video may be played, please.
Welcome to the Institute of Life Sciences, Bhubaneswar. During the last 1 year, the COVID-19 pandemic has created formidable challenges globally. Science and technology applications in the area of genomics, immunology, and vaccine development have contributed significantly in meeting these global challenges. ILS scientists and students have played a significant role to augment Odisha's testing targets, conducting over 150,000 RT-PCR based tests. They have also embarked on research studies on various aspects of COVID-19 disease progression and management. One of the significant research work carried out at ILS was development of animal challenge model for SARS-CoV-2 infection. ILS has a well-established, dedicated, state-of-the-art animal house facility for breeding, rearing, and experimentation using rat, hamster, and different mice strains. During the pandemic, ILS scientists have successfully standardized hamster and mouse model of SARS-CoV-2 infection. All these experiments have been carried out with due regulatory approval in our BSL-3 facilities with advanced instrumentation facilities. Recognizing the critical importance of rapid development and deployment of effective antivirals and vaccines against COVID-19, ILS is establishing an advanced animal biosafety level 3 platform. We are grateful to the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India and BIRAC for generous support in establishing such a first-of-its-kind facility in the eastern region of the country. We sincerely hope that this national level animal biological safety level 3 platform will serve in carrying out preclinical evaluation of potential antiviral drug or vaccine candidates against SARS-CoV-2 infection. The platform will cater to the need of private and government institutes in a collaborative or fee-for-service mode. A team of ILS scientists will supervise the facility and dedicated staffs will be engaged for a quality control and assessment. This platform will go a long way in contributing to current pandemic and strengthen and build our capacity to address any future challenges.
I request Honorable Minister, sir, to kindly unveil the plaque and do us the honor. Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. The Honorable Minister will inaugurate the biorepository for the COVID-19 clinical samples after a short video on the biorepository.
Institute of Life Sciences Bhubaneswar, one of the autonomous institutes of the Department of Biotechnology, has played a significant role in addressing the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. The contributions of ILS in the race against the pandemic has garnered considerable attention. ILS efforts in COVID-19 testing with more than 1,50,000 COVID tests in Odisha has been well recognized. Its research activities involving genomic studies have identified 5 major clades in the Odisha samples. During the process, ILS has established 17 viral cultures from the samples from Odisha. In addition, ILS has preserved nearly 7,000 positive samples over the last 1 year. We are grateful to the Government of India for recognizing ILS as a biorepository for COVID-19 clinical samples. ILS is one of the 16 DBT, ICMR and CSIR national laboratories. ILS COVID-19 biorepository collects, processes, stores and disseminates well-characterized clinical specimens and de-identified health information to qualified researchers for use in a wide range of biomedical studies. These studies include characterizing the basic pathophysiology of the disease, its clinical outcome, and developing diagnostic kits, vaccines, and treatments. The virus isolates of different clades have been amplified in cell culture systems. These viruses can be used for testing drug candidates in vitro and animal challenge models. ILS has established strong linkages with COVID-19 hospitals in Odisha. The hospitals include Ashwini Hospital at Cuttack and Bhubaneswar, KIMS Hospital Bhubaneswar, Tata Medica at Berhampur and Jajpur, among others. Till date, ILS has collected oropharyngeal, nasopharyngeal swab, blood, urine and stool from 202 COVID patients and 15 non-infected persons. We have also collected blood from 35 convalescent patients after 1 to 2 months of recovery. These samples have supported 4 in-house research projects from ILS. We have received requests from a large number of institutes, startups and private organizations. COVID-19 clinical samples have been supplied following regulatory protocols for evaluating diagnostic kits, understanding disease pathogenicity, immunity, and evaluating drug and vaccine candidates. We are committed in assisting every scientific research community to fight current and future challenges.
I request Honorable Minister to kindly unveil the plaque and inaugurate the biorepository. Thank you, Minister, sir. The Honorable Minister will launch the ILS IBST Partnership Center. I request Dr. Ajay Parida, Director ILS, and Dr. Palak Mukherjee, Director IBST, to brief on the mission and vision of the Partnership Center.
Honorable Minister, sir, as you may rightly recollect, last year I requested you for launching of this or inaugurating the building for the ILS IBSD Center, but unfortunately due to the pandemic, you could not come. This is a great opportunity. The entire purpose of establishing this ILS IBSD Partnership Center, as our Secretary mentioned about the thematic cluster on bioresources and life science, the then Director of IBSD, Dr. Dinabandhu Sahu, and I was also for a short period, I was also additional charge for the IBSD Institute. And we all discussed and decided that there should be a partnership between ILS and IBSD for horizontal knowledge transfer between the two institutions, benefiting the research communities both in Northeast as well as Eastern India. So as our Secretary rightly said that this is a East and Northeast connect. It is an initial stage, and we propose to undertake several programs which will benefit both the regions. But in the long run, as Secretary Madam has already said, that will also be anchoring the entire Himalayan mission here. these few words, may I request my colleague, Dr. Pulak Mukherjee, to say a few words on this initiative. Pulak, please.
Respected Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Harshavardhan ji, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, Government of India, our most respected Madam Dr. Renu Sarup, Secretary DBT, Sri Goyal, Joint Secretary, Dr. Meenakshi Munshi, Advisor DBT, Dr. Aslam Omar, Advisor DBT, my colleague Dr. Ajay Parita, and other colleagues joined from other institutes, the director of different DBT Autonomous Institute, and the faculty members and researchers and students of ILS who are here. We are so proud about these achievements of ILS. What is being happened with the leadership of Dr. Farida. The Institute Participatory Sustainable Development IBSD is the only institute under the Department of Biotechnology in the Northeast India, having its presence in different states, Moni being head office, we have our presence in Meghalaya and in Shillong and Gangtok in Sikkim and Mizoram, Aizawl in Mizoram, and had linkages with all the northeastern states. They have been working with the mission of bioresource development and their sustainable use through biotechnological interventions of the socio-economic growth of this northeastern region particularly. And our goal is on the management of these resources in this part of the country which is under the Indo-Burma Biodiversity Hotspot, which we am sure can help in developing the economy of the country. So the major focus of IBSD is on promotion and development of bioresources with our research input and different contexts with their value additions, and we have been working on several areas, mainly on the phytopharmaceutical missions and microbiological animal resources, eco-restorations, and aspects on which we have engaged in impacting the communities for enhancements of their livelihoods, equity, employment generations, and many others. And even as all of you know, during this COVID-19 pandemic, IBSG has played a role in the Northeast region, starting from in the diagnostic laboratory of Inst research testing was done, and including other activities of outreach programs. ILS and IBSD joined hand together as to establish this ILS IBSD Nursing Center, providing.
I think we got Dr. Pulak disconnected. I think Amani can take it forward.
I request Honorable Minister to kindly unveil the plaque. Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. The Honorable Minister will now launch the Himalayan Bioresources Mission. I request Dr. Ajay Parida to briefly state the mandate of the mission.
But I think the Secretary has already spoken briefly about this particular Himalayan Bioresources Mission, and it's only appropriate that Himalayan region of our country is of great significance from both ecological standpoint and is with a rich diversity of culture, tradition, and natural resources, including bioresources. We strongly feel that biotechnological intervention is crucially important for enhancing our effort on conservation, sustainable utilization, with paying and concurrent attention to ensuring ecological and economic prosperity of the region. The Bioresources Mission of Himalayas will have 5 verticals. It will deal with plants and agriculture, including horticulture, animal resources and livestock, microbial resources, medicinal and aromatic plants, and as well as the societal programs. This will operate mostly on a translational and transformative mode. The I'm happy to mention here that during last 1.5 months, myself, Dr. Aslam and Dr. Pulak Mukherjee had organized several rounds of consultations on these 5 defined verticals involving more than about 250 experts representing more than 55 research institutions and civil society organizations, both in Himalayan region, eastern, northeast region, and also in other regions of the country. And this, we aim to develop a time-bound, doable program with clear-cut defined goal and deliverables. We do hope that this program will be finalized during March 2021. We are confident of making this program quite relevant and meaningful for the Himalayan region. May I request Honorable Minister to unveil the plaque for this Himalayan Bioresources Meet.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. Now I would request the Honorable Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, to kindly address the gathering. Please, sir.
My dear colleague in the cabinet, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, Government of India, Dr. Renu Swarup, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Ajay Parida, Director, Institute of Life Sciences, Dr. Mukherjee, representing the Institute of Bioresources and Sustainable Development in Imphal, Shri C.P. Goyal, Joint Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Meenakshi Munshi, Advisor, Department of Biotechnology, all other senior scientists, researchers, and young students, friends from the media, and all those who have been invited as guests. I understand that a lot of other directors of our various institutions of biotechnology and science ministry have also joined this program virtually. First of all, let me, on behalf of all of you, thank my colleague Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji for gracing this occasion and for all his kind words, for the leadership and the support that has been provided by the Science Ministry and in particular by the Biotechnology Department also. We all know that we have all been able to accomplish what we had planned to do during the COVID times. It is all because of the dynamic leadership of our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and his vision and his continuous blessings and his continuous guidance and his continuous monitoring of the whole situation from time to time. Right from January 2020, we had seen that the approach of the government had always been a preemptive, proactive, and a graded approach. And as Dharmendra Pradhan ji has also said and acknowledged the contribution of scientists, I have also said it on a number of occasions that 2020 shall be remembered as year of COVID, which of course caused great hardship for the whole world, but it will also be remembered as the year of science and the year of scientists. Because the way science rose to the occasion, the way scientists fulfilled their responsibilities, they dreamt of doing something extraordinary and within no time produced results which were measurable and perceptible and which have started yielding rich dividends to the society and to the whole world. This itself speaks volumes about the contribution of the scientific community. And at this particular moment, I would love to remember very fondly and with lot of nostalgia our great Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Today it is the 32nd Foundation Day and 20 years of association with the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. And we remember that it was during the leadership of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, our most revered leader, close to the hearts of millions of people in India, that the Department of Biotechnology had actually taken up this task. And we know that amongst the science departments, if there is something which is really close to humanity, which is something very close to the welfare of human beings, and which is something very close to being able to alleviate the sufferings of the common man or the people or the human beings, it is of course the science of biotechnology. And we remember that Atalji at that time, as Prime Minister, when the country was witnessing a boom in IT, for which the leadership was provided by him, he had predicted that IT today is India today, but for tomorrow he had said that BT shall be Bharat tomorrow. And that is what we are seeing after 20 years. And he was the one who had, in fact, after many years, brought science to the real center stage of Indian politics. There were many efforts which had been done around science, but whatever Prime Minister Vajpayee did on 11th May 1998 is written in golden letters in history, and he was the one who introduced the fact that the country has to chant slogans of not only Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, but they have to chant slogans of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan and Jai Vigyan. And today we feel fortunate that we have a Prime Minister in Narendra Modi ji who has given a huge, big boost to innovation, startups, stand-up entrepreneurship, Atmanirbhar Bharat, all those things. And I remember that at one of the science congress in Punjab, couple of years back, he said it cannot be only Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan and Jai Vigyan as proposed by Lal Bahadur Shastri and then by Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. But we have to add Jai Anusandhan to that. And today the slogan that is to be chanted is Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan and of course Jai Anusandhan. This is all thanks to the culture and the innovation ecosystem that has been developed in this country, not only in this particular lab, but all over the country in the various departments of the science ministry. That is why we could see that even during COVID times, within the shortest possible time, we could create a mini story, mini example of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. From a situation from where we were lacking in everything. PPE kits to diagnostic kits, to drugs or to vaccines. We could produce everything in the short period of 1 year. And today we feel most privileged when we proudly, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, say that we have been able to produce 2 vaccines. More than 12.5 vaccines are in various stages of preclinical and clinical development in this country. I was looking at the data of the morning, and today morning the data says that we have already given vaccine to over 90 lakh people. We have given doses to more than 94 lakh people. And for giving it, we are close to 2 lakh sessions being organized in India. The fastest and the highest number of vaccinations and the doses given. And yesterday when I had reviewed the data, I could appreciate that we have been able to deliver vaccines to at least 23 countries of the whole world, and already the External Affairs Minister told me yesterday that more than 40 countries are demanding for our Indian vaccines. I think this is the greatest tribute to our scientists. This particular institution, I am so happy to be able to, in fact, dedicate 4 facilities. I know how much is the importance of research, or for the preclinical trials, or for the testing that has to be done in the animals, because any research doesn't proceed further without testing on animals. And to have been able to create a BSL 3, Biosafety Lab 3, for animal testing in this particular institution. Then the Department of Biotechnology, I think nowhere in the world must have been such a thing done, that we have been able to store more than 40,000 samples of COVID patients, COVID virus, in biorepositories created today here also, but in 16 places all over the country. We have been able to have a lab in Faridabad, where it is one of the 7 recognized labs for the whole world, where vaccine created anywhere in the world will have to be tested here to ensure its successful validation by the international community, not by India. And the very fact that you have been able to create this center, this partnership center, huge center. I remember that I was invited last year, but unfortunately, because of the extreme preoccupation with COVID, it was virtually impossible to be able to physically go there and spend some time. But I know the importance of this partnership because I have visited the Institute of Bioresources and Sustainable Development in Imphal a couple of times. And after having visited that, I was the one who, in fact, propagated the idea of creating similar institutions in other states of the northeastern region, and similar institutions or similar departments in various other laboratories were created in many of the northeastern states to create that ecosystem in the northeastern states. And today, when I come to know that northeastern situation has got a partnership collaboration with people in the east and in Bhubaneswar, this is another, I think, very, very positive development for the overall ecosystem around this issue, and for actually taking care of the socio-economic development and connecting everything in this region with science. And then the fact that when we are talking about this Himalayan bioresources mission, and when Dr. Parida described that this bioresources mission, and also Dr. Renu Swarup described what is it about, we are going to have more than 250 experts around this mission. We are going to have over 50 institutions and national, international collaborations, so that we can actually showcase to the whole world and actually preserve and conserve and maybe use in the best possible manner whatever our bioresources are in the Himalayan region. So this is a very, very, I would say it's a very, very historic day. And the very fact that you, when you are celebrating your 32nd Foundation Day, there is so much to look back at, and more particularly during the COVID times, as was mentioned, completing, performing testing, RT-PCR testing for 150,000 patients in Odisha, also doing the genome sequencing, also helping in the research. And as our dear Dharmendra Pradhan ji also mentioned and appreciated the way you have been working under the guidance, because our Prime Minister is a keen, he is a person who for him the welfare of the poor people, for the welfare of the farmers, the welfare of the laborers, all this is so close to his heart. And he is the one who initiated the movement for taking all the services in science, or to, for that matter, in health, education, nutrition, to the people in the aspirational districts. So the laboratories also have reoriented themselves, and the way you are doing research around the nutritional aspects for the tribal area people, I think this all speaks volumes about the great work that is being done at this particular institution. I would not like to, in fact, repeat many of the things that have already been said. But when I was looking at the progress, I could appreciate that in last 5 years, over 286 publications in leading journals have been part of this institute's achievement. During the course of the last 5 years, since the time Prime Minister Modi ji has been in power, and we have had 15 patents and 78 PhD students have been provided the doctorate in this institution. Many more are in the offing, and the institute, with its leadership, continues to look ahead with a visionary zeal. And I would personally say that the very fact that Dharmendra Pradhan ji has suggested and has in fact asked us to create a center of marine biotechnology with a 500-kilometer coastline. In the coming years, all that is related to blue economy, all that is related to the deep ocean mission, all that is related to the marine sciences, and for the you can say exploration of sources of the ocean as a food source or an energy source or a source for polymetallic nodules, etc., etc., and for the marine life. I think this suggestion seems to be a brilliant suggestion. We'll certainly look at it very, very positively, and ensure that all the related stakeholders, like the Department of Biotechnology, whose secretary is already here, and of course we'll discuss with Dr. Rajivan also, who is our secretary of the Ministry of Earth Sciences and who is spearheading the Deep Ocean Mission. And we all know that we found a mention about the Deep Ocean Mission in the budget also this year, with a proposal to put almost 4,000 crores in the Deep Ocean Mission. And I have personally seen the type of research that is happening in the ocean, having spent more than a day, more than 24 hours on the ship in the ocean itself. So I have been able to, at a personal level, appreciate the worth of all this research. And the very fact that Dharmendra Pradhan ji is here, who is a very dynamic energy minister, he already knows that there is a lot that biotechnology people have done to convert sources of biomass into, in fact, energy, and very significant plants have been set up. We have in the CSIR also, we have created sources, laboratories, research, where the waste plastic is being converted into petrol and diesel and all those things. So there is so much which is happening in science, and if there is a very good quality which is already happening, but there is a need to scale up and ensure that all the research that happens in science, there is so much happening in science about conversion of either waste or all these biomasses into energy, And if this whole research is institutionalized with the help of the Ministry of Petroleum, I think there could be a manifold increase in the, you see, economic output. Even small things we have seen that they give when we give a small text message to a few million farmers in the country, just apprising them about the weather forecast, and when they plan their agricultural activities according to that, then the National Institute of Applied Economic Research tells us that it has already caused a positive impact of 50,000 crores in the GDP. So we can all appreciate and imagine how much is the potential of the Department of Biotechnology and Science for actually fulfilling and contributing to the mission of clean energy mission of the Prime Minister, for which he has already enhanced the target to be achieved by 2030. So I think there is so much that we can talk about today, but I would use this occasion to once again congratulate you, all the scientists, for the good work that you have done during the COVID times. And it is all because of the contribution of the uh, relentless struggle of the COVID warriors, and of course our scientists' contribution, dedicated approach, that we today in the whole world stand at a position where we very proudly say that we have done better than any other country of the whole world, whether it is a developed nation or a developing nation, whether it belongs to this part of the globe or that part of the globe. We are having a recovery rate between 97 and 98, a fatality rate around 1.43%, already into the vaccination drive, and very soon, next month, as soon as we enter into March, we shall be starting our vaccination for every person in India who is above 50 years of age. So that's going to be huge and further massive after this vaccination of the healthcare workers and the frontline workers. So keep it up. Hopefully, in the near future times, whenever I am lucky and fortunate, I'll certainly come and visit all of you physically also, and see that how is the Himalayan bioresources mission moving, how is the partnership center with the Institute of Bioresources and Sustainable Development working. So there is a lot, because creation of institution is one achievement, but to develop it and to ensure its growth into one of the leading you see centers, that is a big challenge, and I think we have to ensure that we are able to live up to that challenge. That is the challenge, Dr. Ajay Parida, for you and your team, and for Dr. Mukherjee, you there in the Northeast. I'm sure that all of you will put together your heart and soul, and we assure you on behalf of the Department of Biotechnology at the center and our leadership in Narendra Modi ji, that we are all behind you. We are all behind all the scientists of the country. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, now I must advise the Department of Biotechnology to Shimunshi to please put forward the vote of thanks.
It is a great honor and privilege for me to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of ILS and the Department of Biotechnology. We are extremely grateful to our Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Minister for Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Harshvardhan Sir, for gracing the occasion and for your thought-provoking address that will motivate ILS scientists for furthering their research work and taking it to new heights. We are grateful to you, sir, for your guidance and constant support. We are also grateful to you for laying the foundation stone for animal biotechnology facility level 3 and inaugurating the biorepository dedicating ILS IBSD Center and launching of the Himalayan Bioresource Mission. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence and your address. We are also grateful to Honorable Minister, Petroleum, Natural Gas and Steel, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, sir, for his gracious presence and addressing the scientific community. Sir, your encouraging words will go a long way with us. Thank you so much, sir. We are highly thankful to Dr. Renu Sarup, Madam Secretary DBT, for her constant support and guidance. Our sincere thanks to Mr. C.P. Goyal, Joint Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, for his constant support and advice. We are also thankful to all our directors of the autonomous institutions for gracing this occasion. Last but not the least, my sincere thanks to staff, students and researchers of ILS who have worked tirelessly for this day. Thank you so much to each and every person who joined us on this occasion. Thank you very much.